The last signal at Sparrow Ridge. The radio didn't die all at once. It faded, like a heartbeat slipping out of rhythm, crackling, stuttering, then silence. Staff Sergeant Caleb Turner tapped the side of the handset, like he could will it back to life. Nothing. Above him, the ridge burned with muzzle flashes. Below him, the valley was already closing in, and somewhere between those two, his team was about to be erased. Say again, Overwatch, you're breaking. Static swallowed the rest. Turner lowered the radio slowly, eyes scanning the jagged horizon. The sun hadn't risen yet, but the sky was beginning to pale, casting long shadows across the broken terrain. They had stepped into this valley under cover of darkness, quiet, careful, deliberate. Now, it had turned into a trap. Sergeant, Specialist Ryan Cole whispered from behind a shattered stone wall. They're shifting positions. Turner nodded. He saw it too. Dark shapes moving along the ridgeline, flanking. They've been watching us, Turner said under his breath. This wasn't supposed to happen. The mission was a routine sweep. Confirm reports of insurgent movement, establish contact with a village elder, and get out before sunrise. Routine. Turner almost laughed at the word. Nothing in the war in Afghanistan was ever routine. The land itself fought you. The silence lied to you. And the enemy, they waited. Always waited. The first shot came without warning. It struck the rock inches from Cole's head, sending shards into the air. Then the ridge erupted. Gunfire rained down in controlled bursts, tight disciplined. These weren't amateurs. Contact high, someone yelled. Turner dropped low, dragging Cole with him. Get to cover. Move. They scrambled across the valley floor, boots slipping on gravel, lungs burning. Bullets snapped past them, cracking against stone. Private Jesse Alvarez went down hard behind a low ridge, gasping. I'm hit. Turner slid beside him. Where? Leg, just leg, Alvarez groaned. Turner checked quickly. Blood, but not arterial. You're staying with me, Turner said. You hear me? Alvarez nodded through clenched teeth. The team regrouped behind what little cover they could find. It wasn't enough. The ridge above them was a fortress, steep, jagged, unforgiving. Whoever held it controlled everything. And right now it wasn't them. Cole peeked over the rock, then snapped back. They've got overlapping fields of fire. We're pinned. Turner exhaled slowly. Pinned. Cut off. Radio dead. This was how stories ended. For a moment, the world narrowed to noise, gunfire, shouting, the sharp crack of rounds hitting stone. And beneath it all something quieter. A memory. Turner was 10 years old again, sitting beside his grandfather on a creaking porch in Georgia. The old man's Bible rested open on his lap, worn pages catching the evening light. Courage isn't loud, Caleb, his grandfather had said. Sometimes it's just standing when everything in you says run, and trusting God to hold the line. Turner blinked. The valley came rushing back. Sergeant. Cole snapped. We need a plan. Turner looked up at the ridge again, studied it. There, off to the right, a narrow break in the rock. Steep. Exposed. But it led upward, cutting behind part of the enemy position. Dangerous. Almost impossible. Which meant they wouldn't expect it. We're taking the ridge, Turner said. Cole stared at him. With respect, that's suicide. Staying here isn't better. Silence. Then a slow nod. Turner leaned down beside Alvarez. You good to move? I'll move, Alvarez said through gritted teeth. That's all I need. Turner looked at his team, dust-covered, shaken, but still there. Still fighting. Listen up, he said. We push right, climb that break, and take the high ground. Fast and hard. No hesitation. Cole swallowed. You really think we can pull this off? Turner paused. Then, quietly, I think we're not alone. He bowed his head. Not for long. Not for show. Just long enough. Lord, he whispered, you see this ridge, and you see us. Give us strength to climb it. Give us courage to stand. And whatever happens, hold us. Amen, Cole muttered. Move, Turner shouted. They broke cover. The world exploded again. Gunfire tore through the air as they sprinted toward the narrow pass. Dust kicked up under their boots. Alvarez stumbled. Cole grabbed him, hauling him forward. Keep moving. The climb hit them like a wall. Loose rock shifted underfoot. Hands clawed for grip. Every step felt like it might be the last. Rounds struck the stone around them. Close now. Too close. Halfway up, Turner slipped. His boot lost purchase, and for a split second, the valley yawned beneath him. Then a hand grabbed his vest. "Cole, got you." Turner steadied himself, heart hammering. "Don't let go," he said. "Not planning on it." They reached the top in a rush of breath and adrenaline. Turner didn't hesitate. He crested the ridge, firing. One insurgent turned too late, dropped instantly. Another scrambled for cover. Cole engaged him. Alvarez, still limping, raised his weapon and held his ground. The fight was close, brutal, over in seconds. Silence fell like a curtain. Turner scanned the ridge, chest heaving. Clear. He moved to the edge and looked down. The valley, once a death trap, was now beneath them. The angle had shifted. The fight had changed. "Sergeant," Cole said, almost disbelieving. "We did it." Turner nodded slowly. "Yeah," he said. "We did." But he knew better. The radio crackled back to life. "Unit, this is Overwatch. Signal reacquired. Say your status." Turner picked it up, voice steady now. "Overwatch, this is Sparrow Team. Ridge secured. We're still here." As the sun broke over the mountains, light spilled across the battlefield, burning away the shadows. Alvarez sat against a rock, breathing easier. Cole stared out over the valley, shaking his head. "I thought we were gone," he said quietly. Turner followed his gaze. "So did I." Cole hesitated. "That prayer, you think that's what made the difference?" Turner didn't answer right away. He watched the sunlight climb the ridge they had taken. "I think," he said slowly, "we were given what we needed, right when we needed it. The mission would be logged. The ridge would get a name. And somewhere in a report, it would say they maneuvered, engaged, and secured the objective. Clean. Simple. But it wouldn't say what it felt like to stand at the edge of fear and choose to climb anyway. It wouldn't say what carried them up that ridge. Or who. And maybe that was all right. Because some victories aren't written in reports. They're written in the quiet knowledge that when the signal fades, God still hears. Commentary note. This story reflects the deep connection between courage and faith under extreme pressure. It shows how, in moments where human strength and control are stripped away, prayer becomes an anchor, not as a guarantee of outcome, but as a source of clarity, unity, and strength. The soldier's actions demonstrate sacrifice, brotherhood, and a willingness to step into danger for one another, echoing biblical principles of laying down one's life for others and trusting God in uncertainty. Historical note. This narrative is a fictionalized story inspired by real conditions during the war in Afghanistan. The terrain, tactical challenges, communication issues, and small unit engagements reflect documented experiences of U.S. military personnel. However, the characters, dialogue, and specific events in this story are dramatized and not based on a single recorded battle.